This is what it is. And you're right. People are set in a. It's almost like a setup for failure.
Yes.
It's a setup for failure because what I don't drive this car, I don't take my kids to school, I don't go to school, or I try to ride the bus, the mass transit, which doesn't work effectively for people, and so the people, it is a set of circumstances in which they need the help of effective government, empathetic government.
Yes.
People that's looking at their situation
and understand the crisis.
Just understanding.
That's a whole crisis right there.
It is. We are in some areas, in some aspects of our society. There's the possibility of declaring an emergency. If you declare an emergency condition, it allows you to reallocate assets and resources in that direction of the emergency, and it might make available funding through the federal government, state government, and also definitely with the nonprofits to pour into that emergency condition. So
I'm glad you brought up emergency. What are your thoughts about Southwest Detroit? I'm a Southwest Detroit native. I went to Holy Redeemer, graduated from Western High School. My business is in Southwest Detroit. And there's a lot going on in Southwest Detroit right now. A lot of business owners are suffering because some of our, brothers and sisters there, the brown brothers and sisters, are afraid to really come out right now.
Oh yeah. So I've been in Southwest Detroit. So I spent a lot of time down there, and in fact, I'm going to a big party tomorrow with the business community tomorrow night, and.
Yeah, you were part of the Cinco de Mayo because your team had asked me to invited me to come out.
Absolutely.
But,
and what I learned there, my kids were there, and even though it rained, that hasn't really kept people at home in years past.
Yeah.
What kept people at home was fear of ICE, and and not only some people who may be citizens, but their family is not. They've stayed home. So
exactly.
It was a substantially smaller crowd this year than in years past, and so also, I look at the community down there. They're doing a lot of things and progressing in a lot of ways on their own without the help of City Hall.
Like for real. I'm a part of the SDBA, proud member of SDBA, and we get it done.
Yeah, there you go. So one, as it relates to the issues of ICE, I mean, it is a federal issue, but
True.
I want to make sure that as a city. And as a lawyer who wants the Constitution protected, is that all of those individuals have due process, and due process means that they, there's interpreters as needed.
Yes.
And that there's fairness in this, in the identification process. If I just walk up to people and because they're Latino, I assume that they're not citizens. That is, I think that is. Conduct.
That's racism.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, I don't have to be.
I was trying to be nice. But,
that's racism.
It's profiling, racial profiling, ethnic profiling.
And I'm going to tell you something else that you can't say, but I'm going to tell you because I'm in this fight. You have some DPD working with ICE right now, too.
Who said I can't say that? I believe that. I don't, something, I'm saying that because I know some of the positions of individuals who have these racist tendencies, and you see it, and they shouldn't be police officers. They really shouldn't, because something. If you have that feeling, considering the power that you wield over people, that it's a dangerous. It's like a Molotov cocktail, and so. You don't want people like that as officers, but we know they exist, and
they
I've
do.
seen them exist, and
they do.
They're going to align themselves with the beliefs that ICE is doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, but as a city, as an agency that is guided by the leadership in this city, we're not going to allow that.
I appreciate that because if we being real, I don't know this to be 100% true, but I'll say that. The crime level that occurs in Southwest Detroit is probably the least in the entire city, So no, it's just but the thing is, it is fear mongering. It's creating the element of fear. I mean, some of the things that you've seen in past times where you create this, it's almost like McCarthyism. Where we're identifying people who are communists and scaring those people, and threatening to put them in jail. Now you're threatening them to throw out of the country, but not only just throwing people out of the country, but you're sending them to the worst jails in the world.
some of them. I mean,
slavery, huh?
Not even slavery. It's torture. It's just
Yeah.
so it was a big news story. The one guy that was sent to the Salvadorian prison, he made it back yesterday or a couple of days ago, but he still hasn't been given a bond. And ultimately, I mean, if he's not a citizen, I mean, immigration law is what it is. But making sure that the law is applied fairly, equally, and that people don't abuse the law. That's the main thing as a city, as a lawyer, as a human being that that I would do, and I would promote everyone around in my administration, or require everyone around in my administration to do so. So that's providing these people, making sure they have representation, making sure they have services that, making sure they're healthy, making sure they're treated with respect. And, in a sense, I've even been quoted as saying, look, I'll use DPD to watch ICE, to monitor ICE's, moving around our city. I'm not gonna use DPD or deploy DPD. We have our own issues.
Yeah,
and something I don't necessarily believe in this process. I believe we're a nation of immigrants. So when did it get shut off that
that we're kicking people out and separating them from their families and children?
That too.
So what is one thing you want people to know? Well, before we even get to that, if people want to become a part of your team and volunteer, how can they get at you, Todd? Because I know you got to be at another event.
Yeah, so they can call our office, 313-756-9000.
Okay.
You can also go to perkinsforthepeople.com and connect us there, or info@perkinsforthepeople.com, which is our email address. And you call us, and definitely we're online on our Facebook page. We have you pull up us on the Facebook page, click the button, we'll connect with you that way, because we definitely need supports. We need volunteers.
You need some signs out here.
We need signs.
Yeah.
What our claim to fame is, we got more signs in people's yards than any other
I have been seeing these Todd Perkins signs popping up everywhere. Todd Perkins.
We got some billboards, and
Yeah, I saw that too.
So, but at the end of the day, we have a ground game that is unmatched. And I continue to work in the courts. I see people. I probably see more people per day, just organically, running my life than any of the other candidates. So why stop doing what I'm doing? And living in the neighborhood where I live at, I'm accessible.
And you do live in Detroit, right?
I live in. I live on the north end. So
okay.
I live in a house. Look, I live in a house that my great grandfather bought.
Oh, awesome.
And he bought it when he moved from the Great Migration from the north.
From the south. What part of the south, by the way?
He was from Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were from Georgia, outside about 2 hours south of Atlanta. And my grandmother's from Alabama. Okay. But they came up, and this is my great grandfather who came up with his 3 sons, because his wife.
What
passed.
a legacy!
Yeah, and so I live there. We've had the house for that long, and I've been downtown. My office has been downtown for 27 years, and I had one time I had moved out of the city of Detroit for my first wife. She didn't have trust in the education system in Detroit, and she said she didn't feel safe. The two priorities of the Perkins plan:
education and safety.
And my wife has passed away, but her voice is resounding to me, in that the things that I'm talking about now are the things that concerned her then, which is the reason why we moved out. And as my kids got older, I got a son in Howard, junior in Howard. I got
a bison. Hey.
Yeah, I got a daughter who's a senior in high school. She wants to go to Howard.
Okay.
So my kids are older, and at this age where they're at, not only can I pour all of myself into the city of Detroit at this point, because as younger kids, you can't do that.
Right.
You have to be a parent, and at one point in time, I was a single parent. Okay. I'm now married again, and my wife adopted my kids.
Oh, that's wonderful. Beautiful story.
The story, life and God has been. So
How's your family feel with your campaign right now?
Well, hold on. See, I wouldn't be running this campaign if they didn't approve. Because it comes, you have to.
You got to have their support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My kids work in the campaign.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And reluctantly, my wife has been working with them too. So but she's doing.
What a legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And, and I have family members who, I have decent sized family and mostly friends, and that's the core that has really created the energy that has now, sort of sprouted and sprouted arms and legs throughout the city. And we've got people coming from all over, people coming from outside the city to help.
That's amazing.
So it is.
Congrats to you.
Thank you. We're having a blast. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying meeting people, giving people hope.
And you're still working, still in the courtroom.
But the thing is, this is my stock and trade.
Yeah.
I represent.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate. And I am an aggressive, zealous advocate. And that's the same thing I'm going to do for the city of Detroit.
And that's why it's purpose for the people.
That's it.
So what you want the people to know before you leave today?
I want the people to know, first and foremost, I do want people's support. I do want people's vote. I'd love them to help us volunteer. I would appreciate their donations because you need money to run these campaigns.
Absolutely.
But, first and foremost, I want people to vote.
Yes.
We were talking about that before we started the show, that this is so significant, particularly, we as Americans, we've gotten lazy. I talk about this all the time. We've gotten lazy.
We have. We don't even like to go shopping no more. We just go on Amazon.
And we take things for advantage. And, so voting is a basic right. I consider it an obligation that people like us, that look like us, died so that we could vote. And so now for us not to vote, and now for us not to exercise that right, and that I consider it a right, a privilege, all those things. It really throws, sort of kicks dirt in our ancestors' face. But I have to also have empathy. I have to have understanding. What happened to those people? They feel hopeless. They feel it doesn't matter. They haven't had a seat at the table. Nobody's listening to them. There's
the issues not being
addressed. And sometimes people outright lying to them, right? So I'm here to tell people there's a new day coming.
Okay.
Look at what I've done as far as representing people in the courtroom, representing people in the streets, and the community efforts I have, and fighting those fights, whether it be for Black Lives Matter, whether, at one time we were doing reparations and, doing all of those things, financial literacy camps that we've been involved with and funded those and actually mentored people along the way. The hiring that we do, the hiring of students that we do over the summer. I haven't done as much this summer because
you're busy. You campaigning.
Busy, but but it's an obligation that I've always felt, being what they call in the Jesuit tradition. I went to Jesuit high school, men for others. Yeah, you went to Holy Academy, so you know the Jesuits. And it's men for others, and being selfless, and understanding that it'll come back. It's almost like paying a community tithe, and that's what I've been doing. And right now, I want to continue to do that in the mayor's office.
Well, you definitely have my family's support and mine.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best, Ty Perkins.
I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you again for being here. I thank you for coming in.
Oh, no.
And thank you for your patience with everything. I know people can see me hot. We had some technical difficulties. But
your engineer is working his butt off.
He is.
He's working his butt off.
Yeah, we're going to give a shout out. That's African-American man who bought the rights to the new WJZZ. So we're thankful to be here, and I'm thankful to have you here. Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. We need to support these institutions in the city of Detroit like this. You understand? Yeah. And put our advertising dollars here. And that, those are the kind of things that I want to make sure that we have that kind of pride in our Detroit products. Yeah. Detroit first mentality.
Yes.
Detroit first.
Yes.
That's employment, contracting. Keeping our money within the community.
Yes, keeping our money in the community. Absolutely. And lowering those insurance rates.
Oh, yeah. But something. But when we do that, we will force the issue of bringing those rates down.
Yeah, so people can stop lying about where they live. Yeah. Okay.
You go real, don't you? You go really real. Yeah.
Thank you again for being here, and much success on your campaign.
Oh, and early voting.
Yes.
Starts tomorrow. July 26th up until August 4th. Obviously on August 5th, all the polls will be open. There's 17 polls that'll be open for the next week and a half, 11 days. 10 days.
I'm voting tomorrow. I'll be at my church.
I voted already. I voted, because you can vote today.
Well, I wasn't all the way sure
Yeah.
about what we've had several on here, and
Right.
so I've made my decision,
Oh, okay.
and
No,
so
I
I'm gonna
understand
go
that.
cast my vote tomorrow.
No, but they've been telling people the
Yeah.
misinformation. They've been telling people about the vote.
But a lot of people have been undecided too.
That's true. That
A
is
lot
true.
of people are
That is true.
because I keep watching the polls.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
No,
yeah.
it's a substantial number of undecideds, and
It's so many people running.
it is. It is.
And it's a lot to take in.
It is. And
Especially if you're not voting off popularity, it's a lot to take in.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't.
And it's educated voters like myself who, really want to sit down and hear that's why I've come to so many different forums. So, I didn't know.
Well, you're a voice for so many people. So how you speak and how you walk, other people are watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't outright endorsed anybody until today. So.
Oh, ooh, wow! There you go.
Until today, and we've had several on. We had a candidate on last week. We had Craig on. So here we are.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
that is inspiring.
Yes.
Yes. I'm always sitting back in my seat, just chilling for a minute, absorbing that.
Yeah.
All right.
So good luck.
Well, thank you.
And thank you, Detroit, for tuning in. We'll be here next Saturday at our regular time, right here at Wjzz Cool TV. Thank you guys for watching, following, subscribing, and have a blessed week. And go vote.
Yes. Vote.
All right.
Hey, you were doing good until the end. Yeah, you were holding it up. But then about 2 minutes ago, about 3-4 minutes ago.
Passionate.
Yeah. Yeah, you started dogging them.